Welcome to InDataSet. Do we still need this? Hey, I'm Eric, and the inspiration for today's video came from a discussion a few days ago where we had some code that was originated from NAB. I can't even remember what version it came from. And it was a list view, and there was a bunch of global variables that control different style settings and visible and all sorts of things. And I have recently worked on the new data inspector for the toolbox, where I can show anything in a single list view, done by a crazy amount of columns that I turn on and off to actually give you a composite correct view. Anyway, but in this list, all global variables were marked with the InDataSet attribute, and all the stuff that I did for the toolbox, actually, I never used the InDataSet a single, even once. And I had a chat with some of the guys from Microsoft about this, and they said, not sure actually needed. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is a list, and you can see that we got some formatting going on. We got a field that looks different. It's an alternative address, and this is very normal. And the way you make this is that in this case we have a style expression, and in case of the last column here, the alt address, that's just a global variable, and we have them down here. So we have the alt address, we have a style, and then we are setting those. We're setting them on after get record. And if we go to the documentation about InDataSet, which has just been updated not long ago, sets whatever the AL variable's value is included in the dataset. And remarks the InDataSet attribute is defined on variables of type Boolean and integer. You must define this attribute on a variable if it's used as the value of the editable, enabled, visible, or style expression property. So that would indicate that if I took this code and then I removed this from style, we can see, see if I can, hang on. If I go back to this guy, we can see that style is setting these three columns to black, and it's actually, if the name is Rob in the third column, then it goes black. That's just how Rob is. So if we deploy this again without InDataSet, this should not work. Now the black thing clearly should not work. And the alt address here, you see the numbers are changed. That's because I'm just adding a random number to create some data. So this works just as well without InDataSet as it works with InDataSet. And we can also try to get rid of the one on the alt address here. So now it's just totally clean, whatever we want to call it, and it works just as fine. So I asked Microsoft about this, and the answer was that, well, the new compiler is way more intelligent, so it can figure out what variables are being used to produce the dataset. So the dataset is everything that goes into the repeater. So kind of what are the fields that we show and the fields that we need to control the columns all those are the data set, and the new compiler figures that out by itself. So basically, there's no reason to do the InDataSet. There has no effect, and maybe documentation is not really up to date, because this was correct at some point in time, because you could get very, very weird results back in NAV without using InDataSet. But I guess this is going out to be a pretty short video, but the conclusion is that you don't need to do it in BC. It has no effect. The compiler is clever enough to figure it out. So that was a short thing. You can check out this video for other AL tips and tricks, and I'll see you there. Take care. Bye.